Okay, in our last presentation, we were talking about phrases, how we make phrases, or how to identify phrases in our sentences. We were talking about noun phrases, adjective phrases, adverbial phrases, prepositional phrases. In this case, let's continue with prepositional phrases. As a prepositional phrase, we have that they refer to the phrase that begins with a preposition, in which the preposition functions as the hard word, the head word of the phrase. This means that, again, as in the other phrases, the principal word is going to be the preposition. Look at the example number one. He arrived by plane. In this case, if we see plane is my noun, but is preceded by the preposition by. In number two, do you know that man with that scar? If you see scar is my noun, the is my determiner, and this is a noun phrase. But this noun phrase is preceded by the preposition with. So therefore, this is a prepositional phrase. So in both sentences, we have prepositional phrases. Now, what is the problem here? The problem here is that probably you may get confused with what a preposition is, or how to identify prepositions in English. So remember that we have different type of prepositions. We have prepositions of place, we have prepositions of time, prepositions of directions, and so forth. So the main concern here is to identify the principal word, in this case the preposition, to determine that in our sentence we have a prepositional phrase. Now, if we go back to our theory, and if I give you this sentence, he arrived by plane, and I ask you to identify the different type of phrases in all the sentence, we can have that he, for example, is a pronoun, and he, and what is a pronoun? A pronoun is the word, okay, that substitute the noun in my sentences, and in this case, this pronoun, personal pronoun, is substituting the subject in my sentence. And this he can be any name of a man. So for example, I can say Marcos, I can say Gerardo, I can say Mario, I can say Jose, etc. And at the end, what I have is a he. So therefore, if he is substituting a noun, we can say that he is a noun phrase, okay? Arrived is a verb phrase, and by plane is a prepositional phrase. And this prepositional phrase has plane, which is a noun phrase. Do you know that man with the scar? Again, if you see, we have you, which is my pronoun, and this pronoun is substituting the name of a person. So therefore, this you becomes a noun phrase. Know is the verb phrase. That man, okay, here we have, okay, a word that is linking, okay, these two phrases. So therefore, this is a clause. So I'm not going to explain that at this moment. Then we have man, which is, in this case, a noun, and we have the scar, which is a noun preceded by the determiner. This is a noun phrase, but, okay, this noun phrase is preceded by the preposition with. So therefore, this is a prepositional phrase. Now, what else do we need to know? If you see, these are the diagrams that we're going to be using for analyzing our trees. And something which is very key in this presentation is that our trees must be in the same line. So for example, you cannot put NP in this level and then VP, then, so if you see all, okay, are lineal, means that they have to have the same level in the analysis. So you cannot be putting the words in different positions. So this is basically the same thing. Now I want you to get over this I want you to go over this part. For example, if we have the analysis number one, we have that the sentence, okay, or this the sentence is composed by two, okay, which is noun phrase and verb phrase, okay, and this is the analysis. So if you see, this is what I mean. All, okay, have the same, okay, the same level, okay. So you cannot be coming up and down, up and down, up and down. So they have the same level here, the same level here. So in number two, for example, we have MP, which is composed by the determiner and a noun. So let's see. if we have the sentence, the original sentence here will be represented by the S, and then we have the MP in this one. Okay, I want to be very clear that so far I'm putting this VP as first place, but later on in the sentences you will see that this VP changes to, and this MP changes to subject and predicate, because remember that in a sentence we have two main divisions, the subject and the predicate, and inside of the subject we have noun phrases, we have different phrases, and inside of the predicate we have different phrases. But so far I want to put this in a very simple form. Now in number 3, okay, we have a VP. The VP is composed by V and prepositional phrase, or V plus a noun phrase. If you remember the puppy will be a noun phrase, not a prepositional phrase. But if I say I want to go to the university, the word to is a preposition, so therefore to would be my prepositional phrase. Then in the prepositional phrase, okay, if you see we have prepositions and we have a noun phrase. For example, okay, the ones that I gave you before. I want to go to the university. To, okay, will be my verb. Go will be my verb. To would be my preposition, okay, and the university will be my noun phrase. Now here we have another example. For instance, we can make the phrase structure tree to the following sentence. The child found the puppy. A phrase structure tree is a formal device for representing speakers' knowledge about phrase structures in speech. What does this mean? That in a morphological analysis, okay, we have to check every single word, okay, in just one go. For example, this is the analysis that I'm talking about. If I have the sentence, the child found the puppy, okay, so we have S, which is my sentence, okay, then we have MP and VP, that MP will be my child. Why? Because this, the child, is the subject of the sentence, and then we have found the puppy. Found the puppy is my VP because it's composed by a verb and my direct object. Then inside of my noun phrase, okay, we have the determiner, which is the, and then we have child, which is, okay, my noun. So therefore, the sentence is composed by a noun phrase, and this noun phrase is composed by the determiner and the noun. Now, what about the VP? The VP, okay, which is my verb phrase, is composed by V, which is my verb, okay, and the puppy, which is my noun phrase. And this noun phrase, if you see, is inside of a VP. Why? Because we already said that this, the puppy, is my direct object. And every time you find a direct object in your sentence, this direct object will be part of VP, no out of VP. Later on, you are going to see what I'm talking about. And inside of this noun phrase, the puppy, I have the determiner, which is the, and the noun, which is puppy. Now, what is the problem with this analysis? If you compare this analysis with this analysis, the difference is that in this first example, I am writing again, okay, all the information in every single, okay, letter that I have in the diagram. But, okay, in the second one, I only wrote the sentence at the end of my analysis. What does this mean? That in morphology, okay, if you read here, the phrase structure tree above is correct. This is correct, but it is redundant. Why redundant? Because if I eliminate this sentence and I only give you this, okay, what you are telling the reader is that the sentence has the child twice, found the puppy, the puppy is 1, 2, 3 times in the sentence, and this is not correct. What you must do in morphosyntax is that instead of writing, okay, the information from the sentence you are analyzing, you only put, okay, the information at the end. In other words, what you are saying is this: we have the subject. The subject is divided into noun phrase and VP or verb phrase. This noun phrase is divided into determiner and noun, and this determiner is the, and this noun is child. Then if we go over the VP is divided into verb and then noun phrase, and this noun phrase is divided into determiner and noun, and this determiner is the, and then the puppy. Now, something else that I want to clarify with this is that in this analysis, if you see, I wrote, okay, the verb found as it is in the sentence, but, okay, later when we study how to make, okay, the analysis of verbs, you will see that what you have to write is the simple form of the verb in this case. So not found, but find, but I'm going to explain that later on. So the analysis of this sentence is sentence divided into two parts, the subject and the predicate. In this subject, I have the noun phrase and the verb phrase in the predicate. In the subject, this noun phrase is divided into determiner and noun, and in the predicate, this verb phrase is divided into verb and noun phrase. The determiner is the noun is child, the verb is found, the noun phrase is divided into two, which is the puppy. Okay, so let's see this. How would you divide this sentence into phrases? The child put the toys in the box. The child is one phrase. Put the toys, okay, is my second phrase. The child is my subject, and put the toys in the box is my predicate. Inside of my predicate, I have the toys and the box, okay, which is a noun phrase. Put the toys is another phrase. In the box is another phrase. So let's identify. The child is the noun phrase. Put the toys is a verb phrase. In the box is a prepositional phrase. So what do we have here? Oops, sorry. Here we have the child, the toys, and the box is noun phrase. And then this one is a prepositional phrase. This one is a verb phrase.